The whales are spreading fake news about USDT being investigated, why they do that, and what effect it will have on a Bitcoin price. I will reveal that for you in this video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise. So we got your back in our free My Crypto Paradise news channel. We have been able to investigate this issue very quickly and confirm that this was fake news. What was the reason that in crypto total market cap during that time around $121 billion, as you can see, $121 billion have been wiped out? So let's think a little bit logically about this issue. So when they spread the news that USDT is being investigated and probably they will ban it or something, it puts loads of fear into the market participants. But what kind of fear? Is it fear from holding Bitcoin because Bitcoin will go down? No, it is fear from holding USDT because you are scared that it will depeg from the USD fiat currency value. So what you're gonna do, or what these whales probably want you to make to do, is some kind of emotional decision. So we have confirmations, we have been watching during this event what's going on, and we saw people, actually loads of small buy limit orders being spread into a Bitcoin price, alright? So it created the liquidity that whales used to take profits on some of their holdings, because when you are scared that the USDT will depeg and you have only short amount of time to think about it, you will do some emotional decision, and loads of people done the decision to buy Bitcoin, right? What they have done, they have basically provided the whales, the minority, the market makers, call it whatever, basically the ones that holds like 50 to 60% of the overall Bitcoin circulation in the market. It's only in top 5 wallets, alright? Let that sink in, because everybody right now is talking about ETFs and stuff. We have got wiped out by 120 billions in just few hours. The ETFs altogether now owns only $63 billion worth of Bitcoin, alright? So they are not even like proper whales. They are so small, it's laughable that they are getting so much exposure in mass and social media, alright? They are not relevant whales. I'm not even saying that BlackRock and these ETFs, they are not holding the Bitcoin for themselves. You must to understand that. They are just providing the Bitcoins they bought in that ETF for the people to buy that from them, okay? So if anything, it's just a retail volume coming to the market. It's not the institution having it like in their hedge fund or something. But anyway, let's take a look what was happening on the spot exchange versus futures exchange to really confirm that this bearish price action was created by some smart money, not dump money. So we can actually confirm that with many things. One of them is taking a look at the aggregated spot cumulative volume delta and compare it with the futures cumulative volume delta. Alright, so on the spot exchange you can see a huge selling going on, especially on this candle right here. On the futures you can see that's the dump money. They are trying to buy the dip, right? So they have been accumulating loads of over leveraged long positions. You can see on the spot they have been able to dump so much money. As I showed you, it was around $120 billion without moving the market that much actually, right? Ethereum dropped heavily, Bitcoin just a bit. I will take a look in this chart in a minute. Just let me show you the sentiment around retail as well. It's at the area where we have peaked always, alright? So the Bitcoin is dropping, and just because of all that social media FOMO going on, the people are not scared, right? So they are providing the liquidity for the minority of players to be able to take profits, to dump their bags without moving the market too much, right? Because if you have from these retail people loads of buy limit, small buy limit orders and buy market orders come in, you can basically start distributing, right? And by looking at our insider data, I will just confirm that in a minute. But let's take a look back at what's happening on our lower time frame analysis on 1 hour chart. As you remember from the previous video, I've shared with you this beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern right when the Bitcoin was trading right here. I've told you we are breaking above it. I told you the target $69,300. As you can see, I believe you are in our MCP school free, so you know how to trade these inverse head and shoulders patterns perfectly. We have been calculating together in the previous video the target by taking the depth of the neckline and head of that pattern and implementing that to the breakout point, right? It came out to be the point right here at around $69,300, but I told you it's not going to be very strong. Why? Because we have this bearish divergence here. We have been creating higher highs, however the momentum wasn't there, and as you can see we have not been able to reach the target on the first push. Then we went down, and here, right here at this trend line, we have saw a great opportunity with Paradise Family VIPs on some short-term trade. We have actually prepared ourselves for that drop first. As you can see, we have been placing a buy limit orders like a professionals do on Ethereum because we have expected that drop, and then as you can see we have went nicely to the upside, and we have manually took target 2 because we have seen the momentum just wasn't there, and we have not been able to even target the $69,300. We have also put another buy limit orders because the probability was high, so we went for it, right? And as you can see on BLZ altcoin, we have also made a great profit of 72%. On that Ethereum trade was 99%. So that was basically this move right here, right? And as you can see, we have created another extended bearish divergence. Take a look at the strength of the bulls. Very pathetic, right? So we knew there is going to be a rejection, and that's exactly what happened. That's also why with Paradise Family VIPs at the same time we had opened Ethereum swing trade position. Right now we are recovering from minus 10% drop, but this is a swing trade for us. We are still holding it for much lower prices. If you have watched the previous video, I've been talking about the targets for our Ethereum short position and other shorts. We are also holding other shorts. I've been talking in the previous video for the indications we will be using for exit, so definitely great watch if you want to get better in your trading as well. So right now, what's happening right now? We are trading back below our descending trend line. This was previously the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Right now we are trading below it. We are getting rejected also from this orange trend line. It's a moving average 25, and at the same time we are also creating, tell me what, we are creating lower low on the price. On the indicator, we are creating higher high. What does it mean? Well, if you have said hidden bearish divergence, you are absolutely right, and it's obvious that you are in our MCP free school on microparadise.com, because that's exactly what's happening. The price is creating lower highs, the oscillator is making higher highs. What does it mean? There is some momentum going on. Somebody pushed this price higher, right? But it failed to create a higher high, basically go above this high, but the oscillator, as you can see, created higher highs. So there is some bigger amount of market participants that are buying, but it is not a smart money, it is a dump money. That is why the price failed to follow, okay? And it's just increasing the probabilities for us that we will need to move down and continue in this bearish price action other than a bullish price action. But because we are professional traders, we are watching loads of data, and we also know that there is a possibility to still get a little bit liquidity right here at that $69,000 at some point before we start dropping below the structure right here. How do we know that? Because we are firstly watching the funding rates. We can on the funding rates see that mostly it is positive, right? On the most volume exchanges like Binance, OKX, Bybit, we are kinda neutral. OKX is slightly negative, which means a little bit more short positions are being opened than long positions. BitGet is slightly positive, which means the opposite, right? However, if I take a look a little bit lower, what is disturbing are these altcoins, yeah? Loads of negative funding, that means loads of people are trying to get into some short positions right now. And because we can take a look at our liquidation heat map as well, we can see some stop losses above us, up to $69,000. There is a high cluster. So it's increasing the probability that there is a possibility that we can go towards $69,000 at some point before breaking from this current structure, all right, below these previous lows. So just something, if you are day trading, to be careful about. Definitely you need to take that always in consideration. Place your stop losses and targets based on that. Adjust your trading strategy based on this knowledge, and that's exactly what we are doing in Paradise Family VIP, right? Because if you are just taking emotionally trade decisions based on some news or based on some of your feelings, you are not being better than anybody else, right? You are doing what 99% of other people are doing. emotional trading, without any strategy, without any edge, right? How we are able to be for 8 years straight profitable is just because of that, because we are watching the data, we are calculating the probabilities, and we are making only the best trading decisions over and over again, all right, with the highest probabilities. Right now, let's take a look a little bit more behind the scenes, what's happening from the medium time frame to the higher time frame perspective on Bitcoin. I have been sharing this with you in detail in the previous video. You can see basically on our order book suite index, this is showing us that more sell limit orders are coming into the market. This is distribution basically happening still. Once we see some accumulation, we will again be buyers, right? But we can see that the pattern is repeating right now. This is just distribution. We are still below the resistance on Bitcoin right here. We are still above the main sell limit orders right here. So like pushing the market up would be very hard from here. This is just another index, just another probability points for us to make better trading decisions and adapt our trading strategy based on this knowledge that we are more bearish than bullish, right? Ethereum, let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum dropped very heavily. You know that we are short from the top right here with Paradise Family VIPs. However, right now Ethereum is looking that we are playing with this bullish trend line, right? So what we want to see from Ethereum is to having some nice daily candle close with a nice volume below this trend line, and it will just increase the probabilities that we will really be dumping down towards the buy limit orders, which we have at around $1,900 right here. If we take a look at the volume on this bullish pressure, we can see the volume firstly on this selling pressure, right? So extremely high volume on this candle as well, on this candle a little bit decreasing, but right now take a look at the bullish volume on these three candles. It's decreasing as hell, isn't it? So bulls are also very weak. In order to reclaim this trend line, they will need some powerful volume going on, and it doesn't seem like it right now. So we are still staying in our short positions. That's just helping us maintain our confidence in our short position. But when we start to see some changes in the market with Paradise Family VIPs, we will be taking profits very aggressively, and we might even change our bias. It's all about timing, right? Timing, great strategy and patience. Let's take a look at our Bitcoin right now. We can see that we are breaking down below this rising wedge. You know that rising wedge very well. Also from our website MCP School Free. It's for free. I will put the links in the description for you so you can get a better trader yourself as well. As you can see, we have been creating higher highs together with higher lows. Currently, we are breaking down this pattern. I've calculated the target for you in the previous video. Right now, I will be just focusing on showing you here on our MACD indicator that we are having a bearish cross. However, as I have been talking about the $69,000 retest possible, let's take a look what happened in the past. In June, actually, we have also had this bearish cross, right? It seems like we are going already down. However, the moving average orange trend line right here, as you can see, held the price well, as same as we are holding right now on the second retest. You can see that, right? And before we actually had this crash, which we have called, by the way, I hope you have been around to profited on it with us for 22% drop. It was amazing. So before we went down, however, in June, and it was also for like 22% drop, something like that. Yeah, exactly, 22% drop. Before we went down, you can see we had this cross, bearish cross, but we still been able to create another high, right? Almost equal. So this might be something similar to what can happen if we will get some power to gain and pump towards the 69,000 liquidity before we start moving lower, right? Because as you can see, it went up and then again it crossed bearishly right here, and we finally started to move down, right? So because we understand there is the liquidity in the market above us, we can take it. There is a possibility that we can take it, and we are approaching our trading strategy based on this very volatile market conditions. Okay, inexperienced traders are having loads of troubles. We have been sharing with you the liquidation levels data, how much people are actually losing in this market structure in the past few months, and it's not nice, right? Mostly because they don't have a proper trading strategy and money management. Money management is extremely important. So what we are waiting for is confirmations, all right? To get more aggressive on one side, on any side, always you need to wait for proper confirmations and then adapt your trading strategy based on it. So the confirmation surely will be a nice close below this orange trend line, moving average, and also below this previously resistance now acting as a support. So nice breakdown below this, nice daily candle close below this will be another confirmation that yeah, we are going really towards that $44,000 before moving higher towards $93,000. However, this is our previous major hard time from resistance. All right, this seems to be already, this point right here seems to be already turning into a little support, right? But to confirm this resistance zone turning as a whole into a support, we need to have some nice accumulation above it, but we don't have that yet, right? Let's take a look at weekly time frame. This is basically the same resistance, right? But this is extremely important one level that I am showing you over and over again for the past multiple months, $71,000. All right, if we will be able to close above this, if we will be able to get rid of this supply zone, it will mean for me that we are getting some fresh new volume into the market, and we don't need to go lower before moving higher towards our ultra high time frame cycle at $93,000. However, this weekly close will be very important. We are closing our weekly candle in just one day tomorrow, okay? So that will work as another confirmation. If we will be able to close above this resistance, it will decrease the probabilities that we will need to move lower first, right? And we will start to approach the markets differently. But right now it seems like we will not even close below this resistance, but there is a high probability that we will close also below this trend line, and that will just increase the bearish bias. All right, as you know, this is just a basic Elliott wave count, A, B, C. Now we are in the D wave, right? And the D wave might end here by retesting the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level at $44,200 and then move into that E wave that will take us towards $93,000. However, if there is some new fresh money coming into the market and we will be able to get rid of the supply zone, there is possible scenario that this was the finish of a D wave and we can move right from here towards that $93,000. But again, we don't trade without any confirmations, and right now the probabilities are still more on the bearish side from the medium and hard time frame perspective. So what we have said, basically we are medium time frame, hard time frame still bearish. Right now you understand exactly why, but from the short term price action there is a possibility that we might take out the liquidity and retest that $69,000 first right here, right? So ladies and gentlemen, trade safe, trade professionally, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.